In this video I'm going to be showing you the commands needed and the steps required to make this clock that you would typically use in first year of MTW. The simple commands we will use, you can refer to the earlier tutorials, the step-by-step tutorials for the different commands, but the different varying commands we will be using in this tutorial will be the rectangle, exploding objects, offset, 3-point arcs, circle, array, inserting an image and scaling that image, and varying our line widths in order to get a raster and vector cut. Okay, so this is the project that we will be creating. Now to the side of this, I'm going to get that off the page. I'm going to begin. I've predefined layers here created already. So that is what I've created already. That's the foundations for what we need to do. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to make it again. So my construction layer is highlighted. I want to select a rectangle. Okay, specify the first corner of the rectangle. Clicked. I want it to be 350 long. 350. Tab. I want it to be 200 high. Enter 200. And there we have our rectangle. So Z enter, E enter to extend the screen. There we have our rectangle. Now, as you can see, I'll highlight this, the rectangle. You can see it's all highlighting as one entity. To prevent this, we use our explode compound object into component objects. Okay, when we do that, you can see, highlight one line, they don't all highlight, so they're all separate entities. This is handy when it comes to offsetting particular lines. Alright, so remember our rectangle was 350 by 200, so I want to get the center point of this rectangle. So I'm going to offset the sides. Now, to specify the offset distance, I want to specify it to be 175. The length of it is 350, so specify that line in to be 175. Hit enter again. This will reactivate the command. So this time I want it to be 100. Hit enter. Now I'll specify the bottom line of this time. Now, that gives me the center point of the rectangle. Now, I'm going to be creating this arc over here as a 3-point arc. So I need some 3-point arc definitions for that. So, offset again. This time I'm going to change my distance to say 25 millimeters. I'm going to offset all these points in. Top line, side line again. Now, they're all the offsets I need. So now, I'm going to create my 3-point arc. For this, I'm going to change the layers back into my 0 layer and up to 3-point arc. Now, we can start doing a 3-point arc for this. Into the center, back out to the end again. Hit enter to reactivate the command. Center, back up to our 3rd point. Now, that's the rough outline of the clock that we need. Now, I'm going to go over to this section of the clock. I'm going to lay out the constructions to get the center point for my clock. Get back into my construction layer. I'm going to kind of use this predefined rectangle, although it may appear as a square, in order to get the center for my clock. This is just a rough estimate. So there, that's where I'm going to base the center for my clock. I'm going to select the circle. I'm going to specify that I have a radius of 70. Okay. Now, what I want to do now is I want to array a line around the clock which will give me the divisions of the clock from 12 all the way back around to 12 again. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating a line vertically up that's going to give me the 12 o'clock position. What I'm going to do with that then is I'm going to array that line, selecting array, down into polar array, which as you can see in the description, evenly distributes object copies in a circular pattern around the center point or axis of rotation. So we want to select our object. It's going to be this line. Hit enter. Specify the center point of the array, obviously the center of our circle. As you can see, it's kind of messed up here. We need to choose 12 items, 12 divisions of the clock. Hit enter. Okay, so that's our 12 divisions of the clock spread around there. Next thing I want to do, while I still have my center point, is create a hole for the center of the shaft that we will have for our clock piece coming through it. I have a 6mm diameter shaft. I'm going to hit in 3 for radius, as it's a radius circle. That will give me a 6mm diameter shaft. Okay, so now I'm going to delete these center lines. As you can see here, I have the divisions for my clock evenly spread around. So now I'm going to insert some text. Now I'm going to copy this text, select the objects, specify the base point, and see later on that we can easily edit these numbers to replicate the numbers of the clock. Again, we will later set these numbers to be rastered, so we're going to give them a line thickness. We're not going to add them as 0mm. Okay, so to edit those, I simply double click on them, edit it back to 1. Double click, so we have 2, double click, 3. Back around to 12. Now, I think I'm done with my construction there, so I can hide that construction there. Now that will not print. If a layer is hidden, it will not print or will not send to the laser machine. So next I want to insert the image. I have a clock face here. It's going to be rastered into the clock, to the timber. I'm going to put the family crest on this section of it. So to insert the image, I'm going to type in IM for image, scroll down to image attach, enter. I'm going to select the image that you want to attach, open, OK, specify an insertion point, and hit enter. That's the crest inserted there. Now, these lines here on the outside, on the actual project, these are going to serve as raster lines. They're going to show me, or they're going to show a student, exactly where we need to cut to on our bandsaw and then sand to on our sander. They're not going to be cut out because it's going to be thick timber. Maximum thickness for our laser bed is around 10 to 15 millimeters thickness timber. Right. So to finish this off, just to put a little design feature using more tools, I'm going to offset this border here. I'm going to give it 8 millimeters of an offset. Okay, offset that in. Okay, so we have a little border in there. Now, I'm going to trim off the remainder of the border. I now need to specify these lines to be a certain thickness. So go into my layers and specify these to be a thickness of 0.18, just visible enough to be seen by the naked eye. Whereas this border here, I want it to be a little bit thicker. Like that. Thickness of 0.3. Now, just for the rest of the text, also need to be rastered. I'm also going to give them thickness 0.3. Yep. So concludes the demo for the clock.